Man, the last month has been one heck of a trip, and I'm not even talking about real-world events here, but a whole bunch of behind-the-scenes stuff that has transpired within the terminally online GTA 6 community. From a masterfully crafted leak video that was revealed by its creator as a social experiment, to some of the dankest memes this side of World War III, we've received a ton of hot new GTA 6 drama just this March, and with the new game now less than 240 days away, I think it's a good time to record another news video for this past month because we've got some recent insight from Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick during an interview with The Game Business where he talks about the ability of AI to make a game like GTA, and it's interesting to hear his take on the growing AI mania in game development, which heavily contrasts Nvidia's launch of their disastrous and much maligned DLSS 5 slot fest. Plus, thanks to Strauss's recent comments, we also have some pointers on how much GTA 6 is actually going to cost. It's not going to be $100. Finally, we've got some insider info going viral on social media right now that claims Trailer 3 will bring with it info on a potential Switch 2 port. I don't know guys, there's so much to unpack here, so let's get right into it. Starting with that viral GTA 6 bridge clip, which shows what looks like a pisswasser mule truck passing over a bridge somewhere in Leonida State. And it seems pretty convincing at first. You have the grainy, low-res footage that makes it seem like it was captured on a camera in secret, and you have the developer UI all around the scene that matches the UI we saw in the real 2022 mega leak from that teapot tuber hacker kit. Plus, the location does seem to match up with real-life Miami, especially the ocean and the giant bridge in the background that makes it seem like a spot between Vice City and the Leonida Keys. However, there was something a bit off about the way the video looked, which led the more keen-eyed viewers to speculate that it's either doctored or AI generated. And guess what? They were right, because the very creator of this so-called leak has literally posted a behind-the-scenes style video on how he faithfully recreated the alpha footage vibe and convinced millions into believing his story. In fact, it's on YouTube right now with over 30,000 views, and the guy's name is Tenshi, so you can check out his video afterwards if you want. Basically, the guy went through months of trouble to create his own model of Jason, and he even made custom assets based on the real-life West Venetian Causeway Bridge in Miami to fool people into thinking that it was real. And then he plugged it all into Unity and did a ton of post-processing work to make it look somewhat authentic. Why did he decide to spill the beans on this high production value ruse? Well, according to him, the joke got a little bit too popular, and what started as an amateur attempt to recreate the look of GTA 6 at home quickly snowballed into a chaotic online movement full of accusations and speculations that was way beyond anything he had ever foreseen, so he came out with the truth just a couple weeks after posting the OG video to cut down on the drama before it got out of hand. By the way, this isn't the first fake leak of its kind either, although it's definitely probably the most polished one, so kudos to Tenshi for putting in so much effort. Most trolls posting stuff like this just plug a few prompts into AI and generate a nonsensical video that doesn't really pass the first visual inspection, like the supposed pre-alpha clip of Lucia walking around on some random street that got millions of views on Twitter just last November, and it was even covered by major outlets like IGN. By the way, the very same guy who posted that Lucia AI generated clip recently made another leak video that's 100% slop, and it's actually built inside the Far Cry 5 editor and has nonsensical VRAM usage figures on the bottom right to make it look like it's a dev kit, but it's obviously fake. By the way, the easiest way to tell fakes from the real thing, even if you're not good at parsing out AI from reality, is to simply check if the video source has been taken down by Rockstar or Take-Two or not. If it hasn't been taken down within about 5 microseconds of going online, it's probably not real. So there you go. Next, we need to talk about the GTA 6 title IDs being leaked earlier this month, before being taken down by Rockstar within a matter of days, and this led to some pretty hilarious situations where you had people with GTA 6 in their recently played category on PSN thanks to a glitch discovered by a few players, one of whom is called Usora1 on PSN. Interestingly, he posted the details to his glitch on GitHub, but it got taken down, and when random Twitter users started asking him to do the glitch for them on their PSN accounts, he asked for payment in return, and it made for some pretty funny interactions. Now, apparently, the title ID glitch for GTA 6 was also allowing people to show trophies for the game even though they never played it. I don't really know how the whole trick works, but Rockstar probably caught wind of it and decided that the memes have gone too far because they delisted the title IDs for GTA 6 from the PlayStation Store backend. Notably, the presence of title IDs in the store backend signals the imminent arrival of pre-orders in a few months, and we've seen the same thing happen with RDR2, so let's see if Rockstar kicks the marketing into high gear soon and opens the GTA 6 pre pre-orders this summer, because that will pretty much officially confirm that November 19th release date. Not that anyone should doubt it at this point anyways. These title IDs must have also appeared on the Xbox store, because we saw some people doing the very same glitch over there and reposting images of their accounts with GTA 6 in the recently played tab. However, what I found most interesting about all this is the fact that during the same time that these title ID glitches were happening, a Twitter user by the name of Amethyst found out that there was an early dev build of GTA 6 for the PlayStation 4, according to information in Sony's very own database. And this makes sense, because the very early pre-alpha leaks that we saw were using 2016 PC hardware like the GTX 1080, and development for GTA 6 had already started well before the PS5 and Xbox Series X rolled out in 2020, so the Rockstar team must have had to use PS4s for their work before they received the PS5 and Series X dev kits somewhere in probably 2019. This doesn't mean that the game will be released on PS4, obviously, as even RDR2 was way too intensive for that console, but there's physically no way to make GTA 6 run on it without some serious concessions to both visual fidelity and world size. So if you're still on last gen and you want to play GTA 6, sorry, but you are going to have to upgrade. But if you're a Nintendo fan and you own a Switch 2, there might still be hope for you yet, because according to an insider source, Rockstar will announce GTA 6 for Switch 2 during the summer marketing campaign, probably with trailer 3. And the OG source for this claim is Reese Kiwi Talks Riley on Twitter, who apparently has a bet going on with this insider guy on whether or not GTA 6 will release for Switch 2. The insider seems to have doubled down on his claim and has been correct on various things before, but Kiwi Talks thinks this leak is utter crap and has called him out. So let's see which of these two people ends up being right, because we honestly aren't that far away from the summer marketing campaign for GTA 6, and within a couple months it will be revealed if GTA 6 is coming to Switch 2 or not. Personally, I think if Rockstar intended to release the game on Switch 2, they'd have started testing on the dev kits as far back as 2024, even before the Switch 2's official release, and they must have concluded that the amount of sacrifices needed to bring the game to Switch 2 simply didn't align with their internal vision, and they probably scrapped the project, which is why they only announced PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and Series S as the supported platforms on launch day. PC will obviously get its own port in 1 to 2 years, with it getting the superior version of the game in the end, but until then, if you want to play GTA 6, you should probably invest in a PlayStation 5 or Series X. Even Series S is going to struggle with this kind of thing, and if you look at how Crimson Desert performs on Series S, it almost looks like those grainy pre-alpha leaks you see for games 2 years before the actual release of them, and even with heavy upscaling, it's nearly indecipherable, but Rockstar are absolute magicians at optimization, which is why RDR2 on the base PS4 is still one of the most visually gorgeous games released to date, and it's still giving modern AAA releases a run for their money, while itself running on outdated hardware from 2013. Can Switch 2 pull off GTA 6 at 540p internal resolution and upscale it to 1080p with DLSS while running at 30 FPS? Maybe. Will it be able to retain the lighting effects, textures, animations, and highly detailed models from PS5 and Xbox Series? Definitely not. So take this leak with a super tiny grain of salt for now. Next, let's talk about AI, or rather the gaming industry's strange obsession with AI, which has recently reared its ugly head again in the form of grotesque technologies like DLSS 5, which apply an Instagram slot filter to perfectly good artist crafted models, turning them into one of those mobile game ads that you see on the hub, if you know what I'm talking about. And the reason I'm talking about AI here is because a lot of folks were speculating that not only would AI models like Genie 3 put mega studios such as Rockstar out of business, but that AI was the future of gaming. After all, we're seeing more and more studios use AI art, like the recent controversy with Crimson Desert, where internet sleuths dug through the game world and found a bunch of AI created artwork inside, complete with messed up anatomy and nonsensical proportions that ruin immersion in an otherwise amazing world. So in a recent interview with Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick that you can watch on the Game Business channel on YouTube, he was asked about his statements on Google's Genie model during the recent financial call, where Strauss mentioned and said it's a great sign of things to come. Strauss went on to clarify his position by stating that this notion that AI would somehow allow an individual to push a button and generate a hit is laughable. He also stated that while he's excited for AI as a tool to cut down on time needed for storyboarding and testing out new ideas, and also iterating on concepts during early development, he doesn't view it as a replacement for genuine human art, which is also good to hear from the CEO of one of the largest video game studios in the world. And Strauss's statements on AI in gaming serve as a very nice juxtaposition compared to Jensen Huang and what he's been spouting the last few weeks. It shows that Strauss understands the things that make GTA and Red Dead Redemption super unique and beloved by fans, and he doesn't plan on changing that formula anytime soon. That very same interview with the Game Business also featured a segment where the host asked Strauss about his thoughts on advertising in games, both free-to-play and paid titles, and while the Take-Two CEO didn't mention GTA 6 by name, he did say that it would be very jarring for players to see ads in a game that they paid $70 to $80 for, and that it would be disappointing and a breach of the player's trust, even though he contextualized this statement earlier by bringing up the limited advertising in NBA 2K, where the in in-universe advertising fits with real-life arena ads in actual sports, so it's something that players have come to expect. But in a game like Red Dead or GTA, no way. This sheds more light on what GTA 6's final pricing might be, because Strauss seems to believe that $70 to $80 as the standard pricing model for a AAA game in the current market, and there's also no reason to believe that Rockstar will pull some stupid quadruple A bullshit like Ubisoft, so unless another source confirms otherwise, you can put those $100 GTA 6 rumors to rest for now. At the end of the day, Take-Two wants to sell as many copies of this game as possible and reach the widest audience, so it makes no sense to price out half their global audience by hiking prices this drastically this fast. Also, Strauss said in that very same interview,
we'll be able to engage every appropriate individual in GTA 6. Another way, if you have a console and you're over 17, just explain to me, how is it that you've decided, no, GTA 6, not interested.
If you're a gamer above the age of 17 and you own a current gen console, there's no way you're not interested in GTA 6. So yeah, another hint that the game won't be prohibitively expensive. They want teens, adults, old people, fat people, skinny people, bald people, saints, murderers, and thieves. They want everyone playing GTA 6. And if tomorrow NASA were to discover life on Mars, you can bet your butt cheeks here that Strauss would be formulating a plan to sell GTA 6 to the Martians. So once again, there's no way this game is going to be $100. Bet on that. Now, this last piece of news is more of a rumor and theory, but it has been gaining a lot of steam recently over on Reddit and X, with tons of people reposting it, so I'll just share it with you guys, and you can make your own conclusions. It all started when a user by the name of John Dean NYC on Reddit did a bunch of research and came up with a pretty convincing theory that Jason Duval is loosely based on Christian Bale's character from the movie Harsh Times. And here's his evidence. Both of them share the same credentials, both of them share the same initials, JD, Jason Duval, versus Jim Davis in the movie. Both are former Army Rangers with similar tattoos on their arms. Both characters are hinted at having grown up around crooks, and just like Jason Duval, Christian Bale's character in the movie is a drug runner with connections to shady federal agents. And if you ask me, their body types also look pretty similar, at least if we compare Jim Davis to Jason from trailer 1, before he got the Joe Rogan TRT upgrade in trailer 2. Is it a convincing theory? Kinda, I guess. Rockstar has always taken influences from a bunch of crime movies while designing their characters, so it's not totally unfounded in reality, but until we learn more about Jason as a character when the game drops, it is still too early to make judgments based on surface level similarities. But anyways, that's all I have for this month's GTA 6 news recap. Let me know in the comments if I missed out on anything that you would have liked to see me speak about, and also let me know what you think about GTA 6's price tag and what you think it's going to be. Do you believe in that $100 theory, or do you think it'll be priced like other AAA games? And if there are any other Series S gamers among you, I'd like to know what your expectations are from GTA 6 in terms of resolution and frame rate. Like, what do you think would be acceptable for a next-gen title like GTA 6 on the Series S? Thank you so much for watching. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, check me out over on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram, specifically twitch.tv/HazardousHGTV, and I'll see you guys in the next GTA 6 video. Adios, amigos.